Peace, peace, my peaceful people. What's good? It's your brother man Saanu. Back again for all my August Pisces. Peace, y'all. What's good? Yeah, you know we gotta get these readings off, so here we go. Yeah. So I trust everybody's been feeling that summertime energy. I know I have. Probably look a little bit more chocolate. Definitely been out in the sun, hanging out, having a good time. Yeah. It's a little later out here today than I usually come out. But it still feels great. It's not too hot right now. It's not cool. It's nice. It's a nice little breeze. Got people on their festivities. So this is cool. Alright, so this is for my Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node, people, folk, for August. What's good? Let's see, what is the spiritual focus for my good people under my sign of Pisces, my big brethren. I always call Pisces the big brethren because I'm the big brethren. You know what I'm saying? And, oh yeah, I was checking out my man Joey. I gotta check out my man Joey's peace. Shout out to my man Joey. That's the big brother because he was here before me. So, I confirm. It's gotta be order in the court. Right? Peace, y'all. Alright, Pisces, here we go. Oset Tem Chas. Oset Tem Chas for my Pisces. Heru Tem Ma'at. Okay. We got Oset Tem Chas, Het Heru Tem Ma'at. Okay. Interesting. I hope y'all love my handwriting because my handwriting is so lovable. Alright, we got Oset Tem, Het Heru Tem. Okay, what's going on? First impressions are for Oset Het Heru Tem. Okay, so it seems as though there's gonna be some Het Heru activity, some a bit of sensuality going on, and we're gonna be able to use the excuse that it's summertime, so I'm getting my that's that Oset Tem, our conditioning. We are conditioned that when it gets hot outside that we're supposed to just let loose and do whatever we want to do with our sexual sensualities and whatnot. Well, maybe that's Oset Tem, and maybe that's what's being spoken about. Definitely on the table is conditionings, right? Being conditioned in a certain way or conditioned to act in a certain way. Also on the table is some level of Het Heruism, right? You say, things governing Het Heru. This looks like a Het Heru Tem. So Tem or negative would be, negatively dealing with lust and sensuality. Negatively dealing with perhaps overindulgences, whether it be drinking, smoking, too much partying, even being neglectful, even, shirking responsibilities and just letting it all hang out, being too easy and free with it, all right? So that's on the table, Pisces, It's time to watch yourself, It's time to make sure that you're on point, that you don't fare too far off mission. I guess I'm talking to the people who are on a spiritual path, people who are on a path to disciplining themselves and things like that. So this is on the table, It's not going to apply to everybody in the same way. You know how they say take it as it resonates. I say stick it where it fit. Alright, so here we go. We're going to do some E-King, hone it in a little bit. straight, open stress, open, straight, open stress, open, straight, open stress, open, okay, straight, open stress, open, okay, interesting. This would be the 51 into the 58. Lines 2 and 5 stressed. Can you see that? Can you see that? Masterful handwriting that y'all understand? Yeah. So what's that talking about? Alright, so yeah, on the table is definitely sensuality, right? As 58 corresponds with the head of Ru, right? 58 is Twee, right? Lake over lake, which is the image of a sensual kind of spirit, right? Just like Heru, you know. But preceding that is the 51. So the 51 at the second line is, it's when you lose your stuff, you know. You lose something or something happens and you think it's the end of the world at that moment. You're like, man, I lost my stuff. But then you get it back next week. So, you know, it's a loss or it's a shock to you, right? It's not, you know, it doesn't have to be a situation of a loss. It could just be something that shocks you. Something that you say, yo, that's messed up. But then the next week or, you know, in short order, you'll get it back, whatever it was. So it's not so bad. At the fifth line, you have a situation of repeated shocks, right? Something happens over and over and over again, right? It happens this week, and it happens next week, and it happens, you know what I mean? So you see a pattern going on with these shocks, right? So the important thing at this point is to keep your wits about you, right? You know, if we, you know, put these readings into that Osset and that head Haru, that Osset Tem, that head Haru, looking at perhaps a situation where you might be shocked because Chen, right? Chen over Chen is the 51. This is interesting. If you notice, there's Chen, right? Which is straight open open and then straight open open, right? And that's double, right? Into the hexagram 51. Then there's Twee, straight straight open, straight straight open. So these are two of the classic, the ancestral hexagrams. They're doubled, right? 51 with these lines stressed go into the 58, which is also an ancestral hexagram. So, you know, there's something special about that. Something that you need to pay attention to, right? So yeah. So this looks like a situation where the shock is going to come. A shock can come in the form of, you know, again, Chen is the arousing thunder, right? So Chen is that arousal. It's the spirit of arousal, basically. You know what I mean? And you know how the spirit of arousal hits you. It hits you like, whoa, it's a shock. You know what I mean? You're like, baby, come quick. You know what I'm saying? And she be like, don't come too quick. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, you know, but that's what we're looking at. Right into the 58. 58 is Twee, you know? Twee is that, you know, gleeful, playful, sensual energy. So something going on with the sensuality in the cycle, Pisces. And we are cautioned to, you know, because again, Osset Tem is like you have conditionings and you're comfortable with it. You know what I mean? At the Osset level, you identify with your person rather than yourself, right? You identify with that breathing body. You identify with your astrology. So you can say, well, I'm a, you know, Taurus, or I'm Heteru, so I do it like this. But really, you Osir at the essence, and that stuff is just stuff on top of you. So you're supposed to control yourself. You're supposed to, you know, walk in this life, you know, not having your astrology or the time of the month or the, I don't know, you know, the various things that we give ourselves excuses about. You know what I mean? Oh, well, this happened to me back in the day, or everybody does it like this, so I'm going to do. We give ourselves all kinds of whack excuses for being, you know, Sahu, right, which is in our lower spirit. So, you know, here at Osset and Heteru, they're both in the Sahu, which is the lower aspect, right? You know, we don't want to make no excuses, right? We don't want to have no excuses. So, you know, again, you know what I mean? Metu Neter is about that spirituality. You know what I mean? This isn't, you getting on the Metu Neter, you are, focused on your Osir, right? Similar to like the I King says, this was put here for superior men and women, right? What is a superior man and woman? A superior man or woman is one who understands their true self. They're not of the planet, right? They're just here on the planet, right? On the planet but not of the planet, right? In the world but not of it. Okay, that's the superior men and women. Meaning, I'm not just going to be here being controlled by what's here, right? No, I'm going to control me while I'm here, and to the best degree I can, I'm going to control what's around me, right? So that's where we at, with the Metu Neter, right? So you pulling cards and you doing this and doing that, ultimately you're trying to achieve Osir within the being. These, Egyptian concept cards, this is all about that story of Osir. You hear me talk about it all the time because it's fundamental to, development, right? It's fundamental to understanding how the spirit works is that story, right? So in that story, Osset, which is the motherly aspect, right? Osset is devoted to Osir, right? So that's what we are. We pull Metu Neter readings. We are people who are trained to be devoted to raising the God within, right? Devoted to, dealing with our conditionings that come from this earth, right? And, we have proof that that's all it is. This is just conditionings that come from us being here. It's not our true self. We have proof because we can ignore it. We have proof because we can get it together. You know what I mean? It's like we don't have to follow our sensual urges. We don't have to follow our anger urges. We don't have to follow our urges to, to cheat people or anything like that, right? We do often, you know what I mean? But that's just coming from a misunderstanding of who we truly are. So, all that said, trying to take something from it. Let's go to the tarot. Let's see what we're talking about here. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Let me do my corny shuffle. Oh, whoa. Queen of Wands is on my tarot, folks. Considering everything I just said, you see that Queen of Wands pop out. You know what you're hitting for. Alright, let's do this shuffle. Because I can't shuffle well. Watch my shuffle, y'all. Watch this. So, I don't know, I guess for me, that's working a little bit better than what it usually do. Let's try it again. Let's see it again. Here we go. Hey, I'm getting better. I'm improving. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be improving in this lifetime. Let's do one more. Because 3 is the magic number. Alright, so here we go. So that was too close. Too close. Alright, so let's get this 3 off. That was a little bit too close. Alright. Not too bad. Alright, here we go. So we see that Heteru is heavy on the case so far. So far, so good with Heteru in the summertime. Alright, let's go tarot. What's going on? Okay. We have the moon, right? So we saw that, we have the moon and we have the 7 of Swords. Interesting. So this looks like is deception. There is deception. There could be all kinds of funny trickeries going on right now, right? Let's write this down before we forget. You know how we do. We got moon up top, and bottom of the deck we got the 7 of Swords. That's why I abbreviate. Man. I keep forgetting I'm writing for other people now. So, my chicken scratch won't quite do for just me. I gotta try and concentrate on writing well. You know what I mean? So there you go. It's my well writing for y'all. Moon up top, Seven of Swords down below. Alright, so the moon is dealing with intuition, right? You know, pay attention to your dreams, things like that, right? But moon is also dealing with things that are done under the dark light, right? Or under the, night light, right? So what's that? Well, all kinds of things are done in the dark time. So the moon can be a metaphor for shady shenanigans. You know what I mean? Weird and funny stuff. People doing weird and funny stuff. Alright? So we got that. And we got the Seven of Swords. Which is also, look at this dude. Dude is in the night, under the moon. He done stole the swords. He walking away. He like, yo, I got to get up out of here. Because I got the swords that wasn't mine. So, yeah, so some trickery's going on, y'all. This is a circumstance where, somebody's doing something under the moon. You got people who, many times under this card, you got, spell works, things like that. Unscrupulous folks doing funny stuff, right? Under the moon, right? The new moon is, what, tomorrow? Or, I think y'all seeing this, so today, right? New moon. So y'all gotta be leery of funny stuff under the moon, right? People doing funny stuff. Be leery of trickeries, right? Y'all know what I mean when I say trickeries. So be leery of that stuff. Yeah. Yep. Shocks, right? Repeated shocks. Circumstance of somebody who repeatedly is doing witchcraft or spell work, right? This is coming to mind because I know of a situation similar to that. I know somebody who's doing witchcraft about every day, trying to affect. I told y'all what happens when I get that witchcraft that y'all send. I get nothing but stronger. So, come on with it. Bring it here. Yeah. So that's what's going on, folks. You know what I mean? Thank God we can see, right? We got vision, we got sight. We're able to, nothing is hidden. That's what, y'all, some of y'all folks out there, y'all been brought up in a funny way that tells y'all that y'all can do things in the dark and it not be seen. Not when I got these. Not when I got these. And these. Everything you do is seen. Trust me, nothing gets past. You know what I mean? Unless I let it. See, if I let it get past, then it gets past. If we let it, if we, take our foot off the protection gas pedal, then we sometimes let it, right? But, as long as you don't let it, everything can be seen. Alright, so, yeah, watch out for trickeries, y'all. Watch out for funny heteroisms, right? People doing, a little too much, sex spells. This is something that comes up as well. You know what I mean? You waking up in the middle of the night, you got a rock joint, and no real stimulus going on unless you laying next to your lady or whatever. You know what I mean? Feel the vibes, right? Vibe on that. What's that? You know what I mean? What is that? What's happening right there in that moment? If you got cards, pull out your cards and ask about that. What's happening right here in this moment while I got this rock joint and I ain't even horny right now? You know what I'm saying? Because the opposite, see, you gotta be awake though, like awake in your sleep, even. You know what I mean? You gotta pay attention to your Osir. You know what I mean? Because how can you be awake in your sleep? You have to vibe in the energy of Osir, in the energy of Keru, which is control, right? You know what I mean? That way, when stuff is trying to happen that's external to you, right? You feel it. You're awake to it. You know what I mean? Somebody's sending me stuff. I'm like, wait a second. That ain't me. Because I know when it's me. Trust me, I know when it's me, right? But that's only because of practice. You know what I mean? Practice, over and over again, right? Vibing in my own energy. You know what I'm saying? So when it's foreign, I immediately detect that. And I know who it is. Whatever. Alright, y'all. That's the reading. We're going to get back in September for you. Peace and love. Y'all be good to each other. Thank you much. Hit the like button. And we're going to get on next time. Peace.